This conference will now be recorded.
మెయిల్ ట్రాప్ నుంచి మెసేజ్ ని ఎలా సెండ్ చేయాలంటున్నారా, లేకపోతే మెయిల్ ట్రాప్ కి మెసేజ్ ఎలా సెండ్ చేయాలంటున్నారా?
ఆ మెయిల్ ట్రాప్కి ఎలా మెసేజ్ సెండ్ చేయాలి సార్ ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ నుండి?
So we already configured, right? Like with I mean like a mail adapter, right? So
Yes.
with the mail adapter configuration, we are able to send the message to the mail trap, right? Whenever we are triggering the message from the postman, that is coming to the CPI. CPI is sending to the target mail trap
Yes, sir.
server. So have you configured that integration flow? So or else I will show you in your tenant itself. So how the message is going to the mail trap.
So once again show me the message, sir. How
Yeah,
to
yeah.
send?
You want me to show me the configuration steps of email, right?
Yes, sir.
Email configuration steps చెప్పుకుంటున్నారు అంతే కదండి?
అంతే అండి.
Yeah, okay, Srinath. Sure, we'll explain that later. So any Arun and Vamsi, any queries?
No, Chandra.
Yeah, Arun, actually
Sir,
I had
నాది
some internet issue yesterday, so that is the reason I cancelled the session. So
okay.
we'll cover that in this today. We'll take our end of our session today. Okay. Um, so Vamsi, you are unmuted. Any queries from your end? But I am unable to hear you if you are talking.
సార్ అదే నాది సేమ్ డౌటే సార్. అంటే నేను ఆ క్లాసెస్ మిస్ అయ్యాను కదా సార్, మెయిల్ డ్రాప్ అవన్నీ చెప్పలేదు నాకు. అది
Yeah,
కొంచెం
sure.
టఫ్ గా ఉంది.
Yeah, okay.
కుదిరితే
Yeah, sure, and I will show you that steps. No issue. It will not take more than. So, okay, Vamsi. Arun, we will discuss about the email configuration today also. So, maybe you already done. Let's discuss as requested by the Srinath and then Vamsi. We are talking about that configuration. So, let's open the configuration. Let me share my screen. So, are you able to see my screen? Just can you please confirm? Are you able to see my screen?
యా ఎస్ సార్.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the requirement is the first day what we configured is, so this is the mail trap server. So let me delete the previous messages here. So have you enabled this trial tenant for mail trap? Any one of you, or else still that is in pending? Hello.
No, sir. Completed, sir. This trial tenant
Yeah.
is
Okay. Okay.
complete.
Okay. That's good. That's good. So let's see. So the first configuration what we made is, so invoice. I mean like, so this is the configuration we made in the first class actually. So like how we can connect with the sender and how we can connect with the receiver actually. So see, let me edit this integration flow and see here. Let me remove. I am removing the configuration. I am not maintaining any of the configuration here now. So let me remove this conversions as well. So we'll discuss about it later. So now I am receiving. So like how? So the sender HTTPS part is good, right? So sender HTTPS లో ఏమైనా issues ఉన్నాయండి మీకు?
No, sir.
Yeah,
Sure.
okay. Yeah, okay. So now see here, this is the end message and receiver. So I am connecting with here. So my requirement is I would like to connect with this mail trap server, and whatever the message we are triggering from the CPI, that message sent to this mail trap server. So for that, so here we are selecting. So here this is we are connecting with mail trap server, right? So here we are using mail adapter. So mail adapter. So once we are able to, I mean like I configured mail adapter here, right? So for connecting with this mail server, we have to provide some details here. So see, this is the general information of the mail adapter. This is mail, and the direction is receiver. Adapter type is mail, and then a transport protocol is SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol. So here in the connection tab, we have a address. So in this address, what we have to specify is, so here you can see in the inbox. So here you can see in the inbox we have a show credential. So actually you will enter into this page actually when you are logging to this. So you have to click on this my inbox. So in this inbox, in the SMTP settings, we have the show credentials option. So show credentials option. So here we have this sandbox.sap. So here for example, see, I'm connecting with a Google account. So like Google contains some host name, right? So www.google.com. So like www.google.com. So www.google.com. So just like that, what this first connecting with this mail server also, we have a host. So this is the host to connect with the mail server. So this is the host to connect with the mail server. So here once I connect, so here I place the host, right? It is also contains a port to connect with that system. It also contains port. So to specify that port, so that CPI will allow these are the ports. Here you can see 465 and a 587. So 465 and 587. So here it is a 587 and 465 both are allowing there. So I am using 587 here. So where we can place this port is, so after the address we have to specify the semicolon here. After that we have to specify the 587. So first host, and then after that colon, and then port. So here if you have any queries while placing any of the option, if you over the mouse like mouse ni మీరు ఆప్షన్ మీద రోల్ చేస్తే you will get the suggestion, the what is the host name and what is the example. For example, see here they provided the mail.domain.com colon 587. So like that you will get some suggestions here. So like see here in the proxy type, this server is running on internet or on premise. So on premise means that is running in our local machine. So a local server. So this is running in internet only. That is the reason I have configured the internet. So here the protection. So some of the mail servers will follow this SMTPS or this mandatory and optional, I mean, like a start TLS and start TL option, that type of option or configurations. But to connect with the mail trap, we are not using any of this protection. So that is the reason I am selecting the off option here. So authentication. So to connect with this mail server, we need the username and password, right? When you are connecting with any of the website, to log in and get the details, we need the username and password, right? So that username password is a plain username and password. Plain username and password. So what is credential name here? So here we have to create the credentials name in this. So let me duplicate this. So I have to go to the monitoring page. So that is the reason I am duplicating this tab here. So now let's go to the monitoring page here. Meanwhile, let me save this. So here where we can create this security material. So here you can see in the monitoring page we have a security material. So you can click on this security material, and at the at the right side top, we have a create option. So see create option. So here user credentials. So use this option user credentials here. So user credentials. So now I'm using like a class 10 underscore mail draft. So like here we have to provide the username of the mail trap server and password of the mail trap server where we can get. So in the hide credentials. So previously we taken the host, right? In the below we have the username. we have the username, and then this is the password. So like this is the password. So we have to specify the password two times here. So and just click on deploy. So here I am storing this username and password. So whenever the message came from the sender system, what this integration flow will do is it will take this username, I mean credential name. So like a class 10 underscore class 10 underscore mail trap username, I mean credential name, and it will go to the credential store like I mean security material, and find for this class 10 underscore mail trap. So inside of it we have the username and password, right? That username and password will be used while connecting with the server. So these are the address configurations. So by using these options we are connecting with the mail trap. So by using these options we are connecting with the mail trap server actually. But if I want to connect the individual email address, so here is from, you can specify any of the mail id here. From means from where we are sending this message to the receiver. So you can specify, so this is a generated, right? That is a system generated email, right? So you can specify any of the mail id here. There is no specifications here. So here sap cpi at the rate sap.com, or else you can specify gmail.com as well. There is no issue. Here it will check this is the email address is proper format or not, that's all. To where we are sending this email. So we are connecting with this host. So if I want to receive the messages to this inbox, then I have to specify this mail id actually. So this mail id I have to specify this mail id. Why? Because the mail trap internally configuring one mail id for us. So that is the mail trap user id here. So here I am placing the username here. So in the subject, so every mail, I mean every mail contains subject, right? You can specify the subject here. That subject is this message. So just for our understanding I am sending this message from cpi sap cpi. So here you can see this mail body we have, right? So this expression, by using this expression, so whatever the sender is sending the information, that will be read in this body option. So that option, this body will read this information, mail body. So now, so remaining all are mostly the normal configuration. So based on the requirement we can change this. So this will read the body of the message. So if I want, you can change the data here. Hi team, please find the body of the message below. Body of the message below. So just for our understanding, I am placing the slash here. So that means the same way the message will send to the target system. So the body, in place of body, whatever the data we triggered from the sender, that body will be appearing here. So let me save this configuration. So now I saved this configuration and let me deploy this. So once I deploy, so here I configured to run this integration flow, I am deploying. So where we can check this deployment log? So in the monitoring page, we have a secure, I mean integration, manage integration content option. HTTP mail class 10 error. So let's check why it is contains errors. So here the error is slash invoice class 10, right? So here it is giving error like this HTTPS adapter contains this path actually. So this the same path is used by the other integration flow as well. So that integration flow is, so this one. So see invoice underscore class 10. So that is the reason. So here if a two integration flows have the same endpoint URL, so that will be conflict. So whenever the sender sends the data, uh, that we will get a conflict, like which integration flow this message should process. So that is the reason, while deployment only, it is checking any of the this provided address is configured with any of the integration flow, it will check actually. So let me change this from class 10.
For two iFlows, we cannot send data at one time.
Yeah, no, no, no. Two iFlows with the same address we cannot deploy.
Yeah, got it. That thing I got it. The same endpoint you maintain in some other iFlow, that's why it's not going.
Yeah, yeah.
And in case if you want to send data to two iFlows at a time, it's not possible.
Two
Normal.
iFlows, two iFlows at a time. No, that is
Yeah.
actually technically
Without
that is not possible.
without endpoint, we cannot send data to CPI at all.
Without endpoint
Anyone.
means in a HTTP or SOAP or OData adapters, without endpoint we cannot send.
Okay. With some let's say some IDOC connectivity from sender, so sender
Yes,
side.
IDOC also had endpoint.
Okay, anything we have endpoint. Without
Yes,
endpoint,
yes. For coming to the SFTP or AMQP, that that type of adapters will connect with the host and it will pull the data directly from the system.
okay.
Yeah.
That time we can pass to multiple iFlows.
Yes, yes.
Same.
Right, right. Yes, yes. So,
Okay.
but
Okay.
coming to this endpoint, so whenever we are generating this endpoint URL, we can send only to this integration flow. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, but the sender, the who is the sender system. So, if we are maintaining two different integration flows with the two endpoint URLs, so if we provide the two integration flow endpoint URL to them, so they can trigger the message, one single message to the two different integration flows. That configuration will be depends upon from their end actually.
Oh,
So in
okay.
that case, we can send a message to the two integration flows with a one adapter. I mean with a one integration flow. So now I changed this, right. So now it will definitely deploy. So now see, it is started without any error. So let's wait for the let's wait couple of seconds to get the endpoint URL to be generated. It is taking time. So now that Vamsi and Srinath, the configuration part is okay, right? Like how we are configuring that configuration part is okay, right? For both of you. Any queries here?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, okay. So now see, now we got an endpoint URL for the to connect with this integration flow. So let's configure this. So control V. So now I placed this. Uh, so actually, Vamsi, this is a Postman tool. So this is Postman tool. You can download this tool from the internet with a Postman, like a Postman for Windows 10. Or else if you are using Mac iBook, so then you can download for the Mac as well. So it will not take more than 10 minutes to install. So this is Windows 64. You can download here and you can install. So just you can click on next option, that based on that we can install this Postman in your local machine. So it will ask for the login. While opening this login, you can skip that login. If you want, you can sign up with your Gmail ID as well, no issue here. So this is the Postman tool. Now here we have a multiple operations. Like to post the data to the target server, we can use post. So here in the authorization, we are using the base authentication here. So here I am giving the username what I have provided previous, like this user requires the different roles actually. So that list of roles I already configured. So now the message we are able to trigger to the CPI. So now see, let me place the data here. So here data means what is, so data means invoice data. So let's place the invoice details here. uh, so this is the invoice details we are placing here. So let me place the invoice details. So this is okay, sorry, it is not copied actually. uh, so copy, and let me place the data here. So now I place the data, so let me trigger now. So before triggering the message, let's enable trace, then you will get a clear idea how the message is going to the target system. So now let me trigger. So see, hi team, please find the body of the message below slashes and then the body what we have sent from the source. So let's see here, the let's go to the message count. Whatever the message we triggered, that count you can see, the count and message processing you can see here. So see, from the past 1 hour 6 messages got processed. So see here, invoice mail underscore class 10. So in that we have this trace actually. So in this trace you can see the mail here. So here you can see this is the sender message actually. If you see, if you observe in the message content, you can see the receiver adapter. So see, this is the receiver adapter. So this is the data we sent from the source, right? So this is the data we sent from the source. So this is the response from the target service. So here you can see, hi team, please find the body of the message below, and this is the information. And this end message. So see, this is the data we are sending to the end message, but mail adapter is changing the data to this one. So like at the last we will get this. So see, this is the data. So whatever the data we are sending to the target mail server will be like this. So this is the actually the raw format, but the body is only this one. So la hi team, please find the body of the message below. So where we can find this RAM message in a mail draft. So see here, this is a mail, right? So just we received this message. So here in the raw, you can see this message. So same format, whatever the data we have, the same data will be sent to the target system here in the raw format. So this way you cannot see, so this information you cannot see in the Gmail server, the raw format. So that is the reason we are going for this mail trap. So here you can see these are the mandatory headers will be triggered by the SAP CPI. So message ID, correlation ID, so all will be available here. So this is the way we can connect and send the data to the target mail server. Any queries here? So now you understood, right? Both of you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you can practice yourself today itself. So if you have any queries on connectivity with the mail server, so we can discuss in the next session. So mostly we will use a mail as a receiver here. So so please focus on the connectivity with the mail server. Okay.
Hello, Chandra.
So yeah, yeah.
Can we able to send the data to our Gmail servers?
Yes, we can also send the data to the Gmail servers as well.
I mean, is this, can you show me like how we can or else?
Yeah, actually, see here. So the extra point here, so we can connect with the Gmail server as well. So the same configuration steps we can follow here. So
Mm-hmm.
like how the how we can connect, right? So let me open this. So here the mail server, right? So this is the mail server configuration. So here instead of the sandbox.smtp mailtrap.io, we will get the Gmail host actually. So I mean like a gmail.com, or as a host of the Gmail we will get here. So here the username and the protection and all will be the same. We will maintain the username and password here, and we will instead of the to mail here at the rate inbox.mailtrap.io, we will maintain the Gmail server ID here. So but here, uh, so you can try from your end, Arun, to connect with the
Mhm.
Gmail. If you stuck anywhere, I will suggest where you are strucking. So because I configured, I mean like I explained this minimal configuration, right? To show to the Gmail server, will take other session actually. So you can try from your end. So if you struck anywhere, I will show you. I mean I will navigate you where you are missing some of the basic
Like
configuration.
your host and user ID passwords, where I can get.
Yeah, like a host and port and all will be. So for example, see, you can see the Gmail host actually. So Gmail
Mm-hmm.
host, so you can, we have to check search that details by our own. So see here, this is the Gmail host, smtp.gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Or else we have, so see here, I am able to connect with the mail trap, right? So before connecting with the I mean Gmail server, we have to allow some application access to our Gmail actually. Application access. So here normal users can access this Gmail servers, but here the application CPA application is accessing the Gmail server, right? So that is the reason we have to allow some minimal configuration in the Gmail. So for that you can check, you can find in the Google like how to connect a Gmail server from CPI. So we
Mm-hmm.
have a many references in the help and blocks.sap. So based on that you can configure. So this information we already have, right? What is host and what is port and all, right? So based on that configuration you can configure to the Gmail.
User ID passwords are our Gmail credentials only.
Yes, our I mean that's so that's depends upon the authentication. If they are providing secret and client ID, we can use that, or else we can use the same user ID and password of our Gmail server.
Okay, and I will
Yeah,
try. Okay.
yeah. You can try from your end. If you struck anywhere, I will suggest you where you are missing the points.
Okay.
Yeah.
The from mail ID can be ours or else a Gmail.
Yes, from mail ID you can place anything actually. So that is the
Okay.
reason. So you can place anything. So here this is sap cp at the rate sap.com. So if I change it to the gmail.com also it will work. So for example,
Okay.
see, this is gmail.com, right? So this is
Mhm.
actually constant value we are placing
Okay.
in a
Okay.
from value, because it is generating by CPA tool, right? There is no
Ah.
from mail here. So see,
Okay.
let's yeah, so let I just deployed, right? So let me trigger with the Gmail now. So here you can see in the, so from previously it is an sap cp at the rate sap.com. So let's
Mhm.
trigger other message now. So you will get with the Gmail ID now. So see here, let's go here and let me refresh the page one. So see here, so now you can see sap cp at the gmail.com you got. So for
Mhm.
example, if I change the two mail ID, it will not
Mhm.
work because it is connecting with this, right?
The two mail ID is a server mail ID, yeah, or individual mail ID with in for example.
Yeah, this is actually the mail trap mail ID for us. Mail
Mhm.
trap mail ID. So when you are logging to the mail trap, so you are just logging
Mhm.
with the Google credentials. But internally, mail trap is creating a for one mail ID for us actually. So to
Mhm.
connect with this mail trap ID, this is the mail ID. So this is our individual one. So if you see, if you enable mail trap access, so this ID is different on your login actually. So this is 5392A74, right? This is my mail ID actually in the mail trap. So
Mhm.
if you check
Mhm.
in your mail trap, this mail ID is different. So it was created for individual with a unique number.
Oh,
Yeah,
so it is different for each user again. If I just open this mail trap, again
yeah,
that would be different for me. That
yeah,
two mail ID. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that is different because if you the same email IDs will not accept, right? So if I send a mail, that will distribute it to the two
Mm-hmm.
mail IDs actually. Yeah, that is not a best practice. So that is the reason they will provide the different mail IDs for the different users.
Okay. For example, if I want to send it to my Gmail ID, two mail ID can be my personal Gmail ID I can give.
Yes, sir.
Or
While
else.
you configure the necessary steps, we have to provide the Gmail ID in the two. In the
Mm-hmm.
two option, we have to provide our Gmail address.
Okay. And this SMTP mail trap Gmail directly, you once if you type, we can open right directly that Gmail.
Sorry.
This mail trap server directly you opened, just no need of any credentials, right?
No, no, no.
I'm asking.
We have to log in actually. We have to log in. See here. This
Mm-hmm.
is my profile. So I have login with the this mail ID actually. So we have to
I
sign up
mean,
with the mail ID actually.
got it, got it,
Yeah,
got it. Okay.
yeah. Okay.
And Chandra, I have one doubt about this server tenant.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Like once we have created the integration, so the process integration runtime is for what is exactly? This is only to create the secret credentials.
Sorry, sorry. Client credentials you're asking. Your voice is breaked in between. Can you please repeat the
Ah,
question?
okay. Now is it audible?
Yeah, yeah. Now it is good.
Okay. Actually, what I'm asking is, in the services we will add integration suite in the tenant,
Yeah,
and
right.
we are also adding a process integration runtime. That is
Process
for.
integration runtime we
Hmm.
added for creating the service instance, right? For
Okay.
creating
Uh-huh.
the service instance. If you observe, we created the service instance right at the end of to get the client ID and client secret. We created the service instance in the process integration runtime. So why we created this for runtime is to process the messages to the CPI at the runtime, right? So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, the messages, yeah, that is the reason we
So
used the process
we
integration runtime.
okay. That is only to get the client ID, client secret only, right?
Yes, yes, right. To get the
Again,
client ID, client secret to send the message to the CPI integration flow.
okay. Again, we need to add the roles to that particular user ID.
User. So yeah, yeah. Here we have a two ways to trigger a message to the CPI integration flow. The first one
Mm,
is after creation of a service instance with the client
mhm,
ID and client secret. The second option is we can assign role. So that role is a message send to the individual users.
mhm.
Yeah. So that's I mean I explained the two options. In your project, if they are using the client ID and client secret, you can go with that. So if they are assigning this message send option, then you can go with your own user ID only. So that's up to. So based on your project landscape, we have to follow. But I explained the possible ways both.
One thing is with the client credentials we are triggering. What is the other way? I didn't get you.
With the mail ID, and password after assigning. So here in the authorization, see, I'm using my mail ID here instead of a client ID and client secret.
Got it, got it. Okay. CPI mail
So
ID.
without, yeah, yeah, without that message send role collection,
Mhm.
we cannot send the data.
Okay, okay, got it, got it, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, if I want to use that you client at client secret, we need to assign the role. But
No,
if
no, no,
we
not required. That is separate. This is separate. We can now you can use both. It will work for both actually. So like client id client secret it will work, and the individual user also it will work.
Ah, that is what, Chandra. For example, if I want to use this user ID and password, I mean Gmail and password. For this, we
Yeah.
no need to add any roles, right?
No, we have to add a message send role we added, right?
That is
So
we added for that particular client ID, no? Which one client
no,
rest
no, 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 client id
uh,
is different. Client id and client secret is different.
uh,
Let me open and let me give a clarity on it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh, yeah. So actually here we have a two ways to trigger a message to the CPI integration flow.
Yeah,
Got it? So the first
yes.
one is after creation of a service instance.
Okay,
So after creation of a service instance, the service instance will provide the client ID and client secret.
correct.
Got it? So with that client ID and client secret, you can directly send. So without any of the rule collection, you can by using that username and I mean client ID and client
Okay,
secret, you can trigger the message. So there
okay.
is no role required here because while we are configuring, so let me open this trial tenant now. Now you, I hope now you got a clear idea.
Uh, for those credentials, no need to add the roles. But when we use
Yes,
this Gmail ID, we need to add the role.
yes, right. So here you can see this is integration flow, right? For example, class
Mm,
10. So if I
mhm.
select this, so here we have a view credentials option. So in this view
Mm,
credentials, with this client ID and client secret, you can directly trigger. So there is no option. I mean, like
mm.
there is no requirement to add the role collections actually for this client. I mean, for this service instance. So
Mhm.
so when you are going, so here we are not, so like actually these service instances, so how many service instances we are creating, that will charge by the SAP actually. So each service instance will be for a particular point of time they will charge some minimum amount actually. So that is the reason if the our client is not interested to create this service instances, so then we can go with our user roles actually, that users. So for triggering the message to the CPI we have a message send option. So here let me
Mm.
go to uh, so this is the user I am using now. So see here I just added this role here. So like actually it will have to search with the role collection actually. uh, So see, this is the role collection we added. So in this role collection, what we have message send as a role. Clear? So that day we created this role collection actually. While I'm explaining RC underscore class 10, I created the role collection and I added
Mhm.
this role to that role collection and added to this user ID.
Okay, understood. That is added for this purpose. Okay.
Yes, yes.
I was just confusing why you added that one at that time.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, okay. You can now you got it right. Why we added?
Yeah, yeah, understood.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
And
Yeah.
instances means nothing but every time new key creation only, right? That client credentials creation, client ID.
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay,
here
okay.
the instances we can also connect with the OData configuration actually. So like so this is always the constant username and password, right? So when we are using this role collection, so this always the username and password of the user is same. But coming to the instances, I mean like instances and subscription, we can connect with the OData endpoint URL also. So see in the below, if I select this, so we have a endpoint URL with so see view credentials. So if you see, this is the URL to connect with the ondemand.com, and this is the creation date. So it was created on this date, and token URL is this one. So if I wanted to get the endpoint URL to connect with the target system, you can use this OAuth. So this configuration will be talk about later when we have this type of requirements in the next sessions. So that is the reason,
Okay.
yeah, just I explained only the client ID and client secret.
Okay, we can create number of client IDs and client secrets, and we can use any of these to trigger the data.
Yeah, we can create n number of instances,
Okay.
n number of instances, so that all will be work for to send the data to the
Okay.
CPI
Okay.
integration flow. So see here this one. So like that we
Uh-huh.
can create a number of instances. There is no restriction here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah,
Okay, Chandra, and we will make a practice. And if I get any doubts, I will get back to you.
yeah, yeah. Sure, sure. Any query, other queries from Ramsey and Srina? Vamsi and Srina, you have activated the trial tenant as well, right? So Vamsi joined late after 3 sessions. Vamsi, have you enabled the trial tenant?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Have you created the service instance and all right? I hope.
No, sir. Little bit. I just started yesterday only.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, Vamsi, okay. So we have it's already 45 minutes done. So let's do one thing today. In the previous session, what we have done is to store the message, like how many senders we can connect, how many receivers we connect by using parallel multicast and then sequential multicast, and how we can log the payload by using the Groovy script, right?
Yeah.
So without so these are the configuration steps we have done in the previous sessions. So let's discuss about in this session, let's discuss about we have a different types of events, right? So before events we have a different types of processes actually. So here you can see we have a different types of processes. So in this we have a different types of processes. So by using these processes, so we have a local integration process, and then so like integration process we already used this option. So here we also have a different types of local integration process and exceptions of process. So let's focus on this local integration process, why we are using this actually. So here let's go to, let me create a new integration flow for this configuration. So let me, how we can create a new integration flow, we can go to the package and we can edit this one. So actually previous session I haven't said, so now we have, so once I edit this, I got a add option here, so you can click on a integration flow. So now see, if I click on integration flow, it is a process test, POCSS, process underscore local process underscore local integration process test. So like I am testing the local integration process, so that is the reason I configured this configuration. So what is the use of local integration process and why we are using inside of the integration flow? So local integration process, so here the local integration process, the use of the local integration process to divide the steps in the integration process, the main integration process. So for example, I have a, for example I have a total uh, 5 to 10 steps in integration process. I mean like for example 8 steps. So for example first I'm using some of the content modifier, and I'm using some of the different options like converters and from XML to JSON, JSON to XML. I'm using different types of configuration steps here. So, to divide these steps, we can use this local integration process. So, what is the use of them? I mean, like, to what does mean by divide? So here you can see actually the main integration process here we are using to connect with the sender and receiver system. So right, the main integration process to connect with the sender and receiver system. So here we can connect with the target system, that is the mail server I'm using. So the connectivity will be taken care by the process, I mean integration process. So but what are all the actions we are performing? So for example, I'm using XML to JSON converter. That operations will be done in a local integration process. So that means connectivity will be taken care by the integration process one. So this is it, this integration process. That conversion will be maintained by this local integration process. So here you might get some question like, so the message will come from the sender and it will connect with the sender message and it will send it to the end message. But how this local integration process we can call? How we can call this local integration process? So for calling this local integration process, we have a one palette option, that is a, so in the calls, so in the call option we have a local calls. In the local calls we have a process call. So in the local call we have a process call. By using this process call option, you can call this integration local integration process. So here you can see, so this is the local integration, I mean like a process call configuration. Give me a second. This is the process call configuration. So in this process call, we have a processing option. So in this processing option, we have to select this local integration process. So for example, you can make n number of local integration process in a one integration flow. There is no limitation here. You can call a n number of local integration process one integration flow. So see, let's configure. Let's call this endpoint URL here. So here select. So it will show you the list of local integration process. So I am selecting process one. So see, this is the local integration process one. So now whenever the call comes from the sender, the start message will trigger the message to this process call. Immediately this process call will send the data to this local integration process, and it will process the data and it will send it to the so the after processing the data, the same processed data will send to the main integration process. So let's show you the steps how it will I mean how it will work. uh, so let me delete the second one. So now let me show you how it will behave. So before saving, let's configure the sender and receiver adapters. So here what we can configure is here. So I'm disabling CSR protection. We'll discuss about that configuration later. So now what I'm doing is address slash local integration process test underscore class 10. Just so I have placed this option here. So lip underscore test underscore class 10. So let me, so in the mail server, so same configuration. What are all the details we required here? Host, port, and everything we have to configure here. So we cannot copy the configuration from one integration flow to the other integration flow for the adapter configuration. But in PI we can copy the communication channel and we can use in other integration. I mean other ICO. But this is not possible here. We have to create our own details here. So what is, we created client credentials, right? Class 10 underscore mail trap. The same configuration. There is no changes here. We can place any of the mail ID here, and 2 should be the receiver mail trap server. Subject I am maintaining uh, this message from LIP test, local integration process test, local integration process test. So see, so same conference. I am not changing any of the body here. So I'm just sending whatever the data I am getting from the source after conversion of XML to JSON. So see that XML to JSON also doesn't require most configuration here. Just it will add this one. That's all. So it will just normally convert the XML to JSON converter. So no need to change any of the configurations here. So let's save this. So let me show you the configuration how it will work. I mean how the local integration process will work. So here the connectivity part will be taken care by integration process. The conversion part will be taken care by the local integration process. So let me check the manage integration content. Let's wait for a couple of seconds to generate the endpoint URL. So let me refresh now. So yes, now it is came. See now the endpoint URL generated. So let's configure the mail. I mean post request here. So I'm posting the information to the target server. So I just placed it. The authorization I'm using basic. The username and password automatically came based on the previous calls. So other information we added based on the previous calls we received. So the body I am placing here with this information. See, I am placing this information here. So let me trigger the data now. So let me trigger the data. So before triggering, let me enable trace. So then you can find how the data is processing. So let me send the data now. So see here, now we got a 500 internal server actually. So let's see why it is failing. So mostly it was failed. So where we can check the message log. So monitor message processing. So it was failed mostly on so due to some of the XML conversions actually. So let's check the XML payload here. So see this is not properly placed here, the slash. So the slash is not closed here for this invoice details. Just a second. I'm back. Sorry. So see here, actually, there's the invoice details tag is not properly closed. That is the reason we got this error actually. So see here, this is expected slash invoice details. So let me trigger the message now. That is the issue with the sender payload actually. That is the reason. So payload means this body. So that terminology of the
So
payload.
even though the sender payload issue, why we got 500 error, Chandra here? Because generally from client side we can expect 400 type,
Yeah,
400
yeah, yeah.
on.
Yes, yes. Client side issue means we place the body, but the validation will be done by the server itself.
Okay.
So here, the body is mandatory. For example, the body is mandatory here. So if the body is mandatory here, just we place the body, but it is
Mm.
not validating the body here.
Mm.
So the data is validating by the server itself. So see here, the data is accepted by the server. That means it was accepted by the CPI, and whenever the data is the process call internally sending data to the XML to JSON converter. Whenever it is going to
Mm.
the XML to JSON converter, here the validation is failing. That is the reason we got a 500 internal server error.
Mm. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So here now see, now we change the required changes in the payload, right? So let's say, send the data now. So now if it is in a good, then we will get a invoice in a JSON format. So see, now we got in a JSON format. So see, let me change it to the JSON text. So now see, this is the JSON format we got. So this is the JSON. So now it is successfully processed. So here, so the main concept of this configuration is the local, the use of the local integration process. So here, so the readability of the integration flow will be increased by using this local integration process. If I want to say the simple definition, the readability of the integration flow will be increased. So here, why this readability of the integration flow will be increased by the local integration? Here I have only one step to configure in the local integration process. So but in future, so based on our requirement, we have a n number of configurations in a one integration process. So that case we have to split the steps into the multiple local integration process. So three parts in one integration, one local integration process. The remaining three parts will be the main integration process. So like that we can split the messages, and we can maintain, we can maintain the readability of the integration flow. So, for example, three steps are maintaining an integration flow. So, three steps are maintaining an integration flow. So, we can easily find where the message is failing clearly. So, if the issue with the main integration process, this is related to the connectivity issue with the sender and receiver system. So, if the connectivity, the conversion is failing in the local integration process, the conversion, if we got any conversion issues, that will comes under the local integration process issue. So how it is executing, let's focus on it. So see here, once the data is coming from the sender system, the start message is sending to this process call. This process call internally configured for to call local integration process 1. So that time this start message will receive the message from the process call, and it will process to the JSON, XML to JSON, and it will send it to the process call directly. So the response, the response means that converted JSON file will send to the process call again. So after that, see here, the start message contains, so message content, the start message contains in a XML format, right? So let's see, it is loading. Why it is not showing the message? So let's see. So for example, take HTTPS and go to the message content here. So see, this is second payload, right? So let's go with the first payload here. So this is the XML payload we received from the sender. So process call will receive the XML payload only. So but it will send the data to the local integration process internally. So after local integration process, it is converting the data from the XML to JSON. So process call will convert the data to the local. So see here, end message will receive the invoice data. So see, let me clear in a graphical manner. So see, the data will send from the HTTPS and it will go to the process call. Process call will call this local integration process. This local integration process will convert the data to the XML to JSON and it will send back to the process call and it will send it to the target palette option. So not only end message, if we have any of the palette options here after the process call, that data will go to that palette options. So clear?
Yeah, what are different conversions we have, Chandra, like this XML to JSON, JSON
Yeah,
to XML?
XML to CSV to JSON, I mean CSV to XML, XML to CSV, and different types of conversions. That conversions we'll discuss about in the conversion sessions. So these are the
Okay.
conversions we have. So JSON to XML, XML to CSV, CSV to XML. I mean like that we have. So just for
Okay.
our understanding, I use this. So it can
Oh,
easily understand, right? This is just converting the data from XML to JSON.
yeah, exactly. What is the use case when we go for this local integration? Exactly, what will
Yeah,
be business case?
that is reason. So the business case, there is no business case here. So the
Okay.
local integration process, for there is no business case here. So uh,
The purpose of
so if
this,
I
why should we
to
go?
simplify the
Uh,
integration process, integration flow, to simplify and increase the readability of the integration flow, we can use the local
mhm.
integration process. So for example,
Oh,
let me open one of the prepackaged content, and based on that we can find why the process integration, I mean local integration process will use. So let me show you one of the. So for example, see, Splunk adapter with the SIP integration. So this will not contains any of the integration flows. Just give me a second. So let's check this integration flow. So it should contain the multiple steps. So then only we can use this local integration. So I hope this is also simple one. Let's check anyway. So here they are not using any of the steps here. Local integration process. Let me open other integration flow. So see, for example, let me take. We have 25 artifacts here. So let's take this is as example. Uh, Previously I used some of them that not open here. Replication of here also there is no process call here. So see here, for example, they are using this integration process, right? So
mhm.
if I want to maintain this three steps, so instead of
Mhm.
maintaining these three steps in this main integration flow process, so you can call one process call and you can call these three options in the local integration process. So
Mhm.
just to decrease the processing steps and to increase the readability of the integration flow, we will use this local integration process. That's all.
Okay, what is the other integration inside that?
Sorry.
One more iFlow is configured inside the box, right?
So this is
There are two.
exception sub process. We'll discuss about it later.
Oh,
So like
okay.
we are only focusing on local integration process, right? That exception sub process we haven't covered it. So that we'll discuss about it later. Whenever the error comes in this integration flow step, that time it will call. So
Mm-hmm.
to decrease, so like here you can see, to decrease main integration process steps, we can use the local integration process. Got it?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is about the local integration process configuration. So next, let's go with the exception sub process. So that exception sub process, what does mean by exception sub process? Why we are using it? So anyone had idea on Java or Python? Any of the language? Do you have any idea on it? So in Java we have exception sub process. In Python also we have exception sub process. Any idea on the programming languages?
No.
Okay, so for example, we know sometimes this type of exceptions we will get. So like sometimes the conversions will fail, uh, sometimes the connectivity with the target system will fail. We know that that will be failed in some of the cases. I mean, that integration flow will fail in some of the cases. So that time we can configure this exception subprocess. So the use of this exception subprocess is, so whenever the error happens inside of the integration flow. So for example, see, we have only this one process called steps here. So here we have a n number of configurations here. So in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 configuration steps they configured here. So within these 11 configuration steps, while processing the message, it was failed anywhere to connect with this OData service, to connect with this HTTP. So whatever the data, whatever the error occurs in this integration process, immediately it will call this exception sub process. Immediately it will call the this exception sub process. So here immediately it will call this exception sub process. In that exception sub process, how we will configure the content modifier and how we will configure to the connector connection to the target system, we'll discuss tomorrow. So this is the brief about the exception sub process. So if you have a time, you can go with the exception sub process documentation. So based on that, you will get a clear idea while I'm explaining tomorrow. Okay, so now see here, these exceptions of process you cannot place outside of the integration process. So see, this is exceptions of process, right? We cannot place this outside of the integration process actually. Got it? So we cannot place outside of the integration process. These exceptions of process can only place inside of the integration process or else local integration process. So see here, here I am maintaining this local integration process and this local integrate, I mean the this exceptions of process and this exception process 1 and 2. So the exceptions of process 1 will take care about only errors, only exception. It will handle the exception only in the this integration process. So when any error occurs in the local integration process, it will not taking care by the exceptions of process 1, exceptions of process 1. So these exceptions of process 2 can only taken care by the exceptions within this local integration process 1. So so how many local integration process we have? So based on that, if I wanted to handle errors in all local integration process, we have to maintain I mean n number of exceptions of process in a multiple local integration process and a main integration process. So clear, that means this exception subprocess can handle the exception within this integration process or within this local integration process. It will not handle the errors in I mean it will not handle the errors in entire integration flow. Got it? Got the point? So this
Yeah.
exception subprocess will take care about only this integration process errors. This integration, I mean this exception subprocess can handle only this local integration process errors. So like that, we have to configure this. So like how we can configure, how we can read that exception details, we'll discuss about it later, I mean in a next class. Okay.
Okay. Okay, Chandra.
Yeah, so please practice this local integration process from your end. So if you have any queries, we can discuss about it later, I mean tomorrow class.
Oh,
Yeah, so any queries from Vamsi, Srinath?
Sir,
Yes, Srinath.
sir, I did not receive any message from mail trap, sir. How can I see mail trap messages, sir?
You did not receive any?
Mail trap messages, sir.
Okay, can you are you in system right now?
Yes, sir. Can I represent, sir?
Okay, yeah, you can present Srinath Reddy. So you configured right already?
Yes, sir. I have configured, sir, but I did not receive any mails from Mailtrap.
Yeah, okay, okay. Let me check the configuration one. Okay, I make you as a presenter. Can you please share your screen once?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
See, sir.
Yeah, I can able to see your screen now. So you
Sir,
have
but I
not
did.
received an email. Okay. So open
I
the
have
my inbox once.
my box, sir.
Yeah, yeah, my inbox. Yeah. Yes. See here, show credentials is the option. So you configured with these details only, right?
Yes, sir. Sir, in Postman box, which you have to represent, sir? POP3 or SMTP, sir?
Sorry, in Postman.
Which username and password we have to give, sir? POP3 or SMTP?
In Postman, you are asking, right?
Yes, sir.
Then open the Postman configuration once. So here you are getting 401 unauthorized, right? So
Yes, sir.
here, here you have to think, Srinath actually. So here you have not. So 401 unauthorized means, so you are unauthorized. That means this is the issue with the username and password. So
Okay.
here you copied the endpoint URL and you placed this in the inside of the postman request. That's good. So here in the type, so we have to select the base authentication. So in the type we have, right, the
Where, sir?
type. Yeah,
Ah,
yes,
yes, sir.
yes, that one. Yeah, we have to select that. We have to select the base authentication. So base
Sir,
auth.
I already tried for basic authentication, sir, but I did not
So
receive any
which
message.
user? Yeah, yeah. Which user you have placed actually? So
POP3
here,
first.
no, no, no. Actually, see here, this endpoint. So that is the reason I am said like you have to think. So this endpoint related to which server? So that endpoints like we copied that HTTPS colon slash slash 09. That is you copied from CPI, right?
Yes, sir.
So that when you are connecting with CPI, so you have to provide that CPI credentials here, not with the mail trap details. The mail
Okay.
trap will connect from the CPI. We already provided the username and password in the CPI itself. CPI will take care, it will read the data from the client credentials and it will connect with the target system. Now here we are connecting with CPI system, right? So we have to
Yes.
provide that CPI details here. I mean CPI username and password, or else the client ID and client secret we created in a service instance, right? So that
Yes, sir.
client ID and client secret we have to place here.
Now I have to get this my mail ID, sir, here
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a created.
Have you added the message and role collection to your user?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you added, you can give your username and password. So like you are logging with a CPA trial tenant, right? So that username and password we have to provide here.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, you can give it right itself. We can check. Are you typing? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now it is everything. So it is slow. The screen is a little bit lag actually. So enter the
Now I
password.
have to enter, sir.
Yeah, you have to enter the password. Uh,
Yes.
that you are logging with CPA, right? That username and password we have to use. So you can send that request now. If the password and the Gmail ID is correct, then you can send the data.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So your
Sir,
screen is lagging. Once you get the response, what is the response code? So still
Sir,
you are getting
401.
401 unauthorized, right? So
Yes, sir.
uh, that means you have not added, or else you have placed the wrong mail ID or password. So we have to check that one. Can you please copy the client ID and client secret and try to send the message now?
Client ID, sir.
Yeah, client ID, client secret from the BTP cockpit. Have you disabled the CSRF protection while configuring the HTTP sender adapter?
No, sir. I just created account and I started working in this instance and subscription, sir.
Okay, open the integration flow once.
Yes, sir. Open.
So open that integration. Yeah. Yeah, Vamsi, these are just debugging techniques. If you have a work, then you can left. We can check internal. Okay. So I hope you already know these steps. And I mean, not Vamsi, Arun. Arun, I'm saying Arun. Yeah. So select that HTTPS configuration. HTTPS configuration like sender. Yeah. Go to the connection tab. Yeah, you disabled it. No issue. You disabled it. No issue. Yeah. Let's go to the BTP cockpit once and take the client ID and client secret from the service instances.
VTP cockpit, sir. Again.
Yeah, BTP cockpit. Just a second.
So I have to close this account, sir. First, sir.
So BTP cockpit, Srinath, open BTP cockpit. Like we configured the trial tenant integration suite, all right?
Yes, sir. Starting
Yeah,
from
open.
starting onward.
Yeah, okay, okay, no issue. So yeah, you have not created any instances actually. See in the below, we have not created any instances in the below. So instances are zero.
Okay, sir.
So you have to create instance. So that instance contains actually the client ID and client secret.
Okay.
So refer that video actually. So I have shown that right how to create a client ID and client secret, and you can copy the client ID and client secret as a username and password. Client ID is a username and secret is a password.
Okay, sir.
So now the message will go to the CPI and CPI will send the message to the target mail server.
Chandra, one doubt. Without this instance also, we can use CPI credentials and we can send now.
Yes, we can send it. Yeah, we can send it. Or else go to the security tab once. So for that also we have to create a role collection actually.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yes.
Sir, click on role
Yeah.
collection.
So here go to the role collections one. So even if we add that role collection, it will take a few minutes to apply that role collection to our user actually. So click on the plus symbol at the top,
Yes, sir.
at the right top.
Okay, okay. What I have to do, sir?
Yeah, give the name like role collection underscore CPI, RC underscore RC underscore
Yes, sir.
CPI. Whatever the name we want, you can give here and click on create.
Great.
So search for that role at the top. So we have scroll down one, scroll little bit. No, no, no. Scroll up, scroll up. No, no, no. Don't manually check it. You have 38 entries, right? Search for the RC underscore CPI.
Yes, sir. Open it, sir.
Yeah, open it. Open it. Yes, just open it and add a message send role collection here. Just click on it. It will, yeah. So here we can edit option, right? At the right top, we have edit option. Click on edit. So these
Yes, sir.
steps I already explained in that day, like how we can send. So in the role name, select that browse symbol. So in the role name, in the first roles, yeah. Here you can send message send option. Message send. Search for the message send. So in the role name, you can give the yes the message send. Select that message send.
Messaging, sir.
Yeah, in the below we received yeah message send last one. Select that one.
Application.
Check that one. Check that. So we have a checkbox, right? We can check that box and we can click on add.
Okay, sir.
So now save that. Save the role collection. Save the role collection.
Yes, sir. Saving, sir.
So now go to users. Users at the left. Yeah, no, no, not there. At the left. At the left security we have at the left we have menu, right?
Okay, okay, okay. Yes, sir.
At the left side. Yeah. Yes, that go to users and click on your mail ID. So click on your yes. Now at the left side we have menu, right? Uh, I mean right side, right side, right side we have menu, right? Go to yeah assign role collection.
Assign role collection, sir.
Yeah, assign role collection. At the below, at the below, at the below.
Yes, sir. Which
Yeah,
option I
here
have to
we
select?
have to search for RC underscore CPI. So select that and assign role collection. Check that one and click on assign role collection.
Yes, sir.
So now this role is usually to, I mean, added to your role. So try in the postman, go to the postman one.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Hello.
so now you can try with the message. So now it will not work mostly. It will take time to apply that user role actually. It will take minimum 30 minutes. So trigger the message now. Let's see it will work or not. Have you triggered?
Yes, sir. Sir, again 401 authorized.
Yeah, phone at one. You can try after 30 minutes, it will work actually. So immediately it will not work.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
So you can also follow the service instance, how we can create the service instance and how we can create the client ID and client secret also.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
Okay, sir. Sir,
Yeah, see,
sir, for
yeah,
Postman,
tell me,
which I have
Srinath.
to give, sir, SMTP or this with this two I see we can't able to use any of that, sir.
Sorry, postman.
The SMTP and POP3 we can't able to use in Postman, sir.
No. This postman is used for only for HTTP calls.
Okay, okay.
So this is a SMTP is a one type of protocol. This is used for to connect with the mail servers.
Okay, sir.
But coming to the postman, we can use this to connect with the HTTPS service.
Okay, okay, sir.
Got it? Actually,
Got it, sir.
Srinath, the postman is a different type of client to test the HTTPS services. The SMTP is a mail server protocol. So these two are different systems actually.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Srinath, got it?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah, any queries?
Hello, sir.
If you don't have any queries, we can close the session.
Sir, can you please
Chandra, from my side, one small request.
Yeah, yeah, Vamsi, from your side.
After completion of all these, అంటే మొత్తం కంప్లీట్ అయిన తర్వాత లైఫ్ బ్రీఫ్ గా చెప్పినప్పుడు కొంచెం మదర్ టంగ్ లో కొంచెం చెప్పగలుగుతారా ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్?
Yeah, Vamsi, actually గా నాకు ఇప్పటి వరకు ఎక్కువ వాయిస్ వచ్చింది. Can you please explain again? Can you please ask the question again?
అంటే ఇప్పుడు మనకి కాన్సెప్ట్ చెప్తే కంప్లీట్ అయిపోతుంది కదా,
Yeah, yeah.
అప్పుడు కొంచెం లైట్ గా బ్రీఫ్ గా చెప్పేటప్పుడు మదర్ టంగ్ కొంచెం చెప్పగలుగుతారా అని అడుగుతున్నా.
Yeah, yeah,
అంటే
చెప్తానండి.
అంటే కొంచెం క్లియర్ గా అర్థమవుతుందనే మాకు అందుకని.
Yeah, yeah, sure, Vamsi. నేను రేపు పొద్దున్న నుంచి అలా చెప్తానండి, నో ఇష్యూ.
ఉమ్. అంటే మనకి అంటే ఫ్లోలో వెళ్ళిపోతుంటే కొంచెం అర్థమవుతుంది, కొంచెం డౌట్ వస్తుంది.
యా, అర్థమైంది వంశీ. నేను రేపు ఫ్రమ్ టుమారో ఆన్వర్డ్స్ ఐ విల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ఇన్ ద మదర్ టంగ్. ఓకే. ఓకే.
ఓకే ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
యా, నో ప్రాబ్లం.
చంద్ర, గ్రూప్ ఏమైనా క్రియేట్ చేశారా వీళ్ళకి?
చేశారండి, యాక్చువల్గా చేస్తానన్నారు. అంటే యాక్చువల్గా పేమెంట్ డిఫరెంట్ టైమ్స్ లో అయిందంట, అందుకే ఇంకా గ్రూప్ క్రియేట్ చేయలేదంట. దే విల్ క్రియేట్ టుడే ఆర్
ఓకే ఓకే, అంటే ఏం లేదు, కొంచెం కంటెంట్ ఏమైనా ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తారేమో, ఈ ఐడియా ఉంటుంది.
యా, ఓకే, ఐ విల్ చెక్ విత్ దెమ్ అండి, దే విల్ షేర్ ద కంటెంట్.
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
యా, నో ప్రాబ్లం.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ సార్.
యా, నో ప్రాబ్లం. బాయ్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
యా, నో ప్రాబ్లం.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ సార్.
యా, నో ప్రాబ్లం. బాయ్ శ్రీ.